at Ericsson for this last game of the Warriors of 1998. Bit of cloud cover, but everything is nice and dry as Manly set themselves with Luke Phillips at the back, Albert Torrens, Joe Papawani, Terry Hill, Alf Duncan, Craig Field and Jeff Tooby. Daniel Gardner up front with Jim Sedaris and Anthony Colella. Then what about the back three, the creative play there amongst Menzies, Kosef and Lyons. The coach, the great Bobby Fulton.
Yeah, and we've got, looking at, should be a tough battle out here today, and especially with Ridge, that fullback Hoppy, Ido, Wagner in the centre, Stellati. He's been impressive of late. Namu,
Matthew
Jones.
Ridge, sorry, Dwayne, Matthew Ridge at the back for the Warriors. Sean Hoppy, Kevin Iro, Nigel Wagner and Stellati in the halves of Namu and Jones. Siu, Zane Clark, Brady Malem and Guttenfield, Kearney, Logan Swan, the coaches, Frank Endicott. Paul McBlain is the referee in charge of this one. Paul McBlain just waiting for the countdown into what may mean 80 minutes left for either side of the season. Manly with it all to do, all to play for. Ridge looking for the big one against his old joint. Siu takes it to the 20. And Logan Swan with a fumble to let the Sea Eagles in right from the start. And we might have somebody on report. McBlain will call over Logan Swan. Zane Clark and also Jerry Siu was in the tackle and the danger of putting your hands between somebody's legs and heading them straight into the pitch.
Yeah, just trying to muscle up and obviously upset about knocking the ball on. He's got the hands between the legs and the rolling motions occurred.
They've all gone on report. It will be looked at. As far as further action is concerned, but right from the start, chance at points for Manly in the opening 60 seconds. Looking right down the barrel, Luke Phillips. So straight away, 118 points this season, 44 goals from 73 attempts at 60%, Luke Phillips. This one to settle them down early, break the ice on a nervous day out. Excellent for the Sea Eagles. Just grabbed that early lead of 2-0. Pretty good atmosphere up around the ground and great conditions. No real breeze to take hold either, Brent Todd.
No, that's right. It's fantastic conditions here. No breeze, but as you said, it was not a great start because as a player, you just want to get in there and put a few big hits on and get, you're so hyped up. And it's a bit of a, this is at the start it all again here, but watch for the Warriors for some big hits. They look pretty fired up to me.
Another penalty for Manly, flopping in late on the tackle.
Play the ball.
I think it was Brady Malem, the man that he's got, just in fact laying on him and trying to slow the play down. Well, you've heard some criticism, especially back in Australia. Wayne Bennett came out strongly during the week, the Brisbane Broncos coach, suggesting that referees have knocked off in that area, Dwayne, in the latter half of the season, and he's looking for a lot more pace in the play of the ball area.
Well, they are, but there's just the inconsistency is what concerns everybody, and firmly I believe that the Warriors haven't had the the fair shake of the sav, and on two occasions here, the report really there was nothing in that, and they've copped another penalty.
Good smart start for Manly. Sedaris inside the 40, open it up to the big back line. Lyons going to find the open spaces. Ridge has to hurry, needs a good bounce, gets there and does well to tidy up. Really tested him out. If any side's going to know his positional play, it is Manly. Siu with a strong surge to pick up the workload from the likes of Pongia and Bangana, who are missing. Ridge up in the front line immediately.
Get up!
Plenty of feeling. Kearney. Outstanding talent. Mixed form the last couple of months. He will try find his best. But remember that this is the last official hit out for a lot of these Kiwi internationals before the final two tests against the Aussies. Brady Malem, last tackle, and will be wrapped up on a handover, so they are off their game. They are being put out of rhythm.
Well, they have, and that's when the 5/8s really need to be in there shouting and directing this play so they can get a good kick away. But, of course, now they've put themselves under pressure again, and, you know, Manly, everything falling right for them at this stage.
Jeff Turvey. Sidaris. Looked to give it to a support. Turvey was there, couldn't. Great field to take over, to link with Lyons. And plenty of decoy runners out the back door for Luke Phillips, then trying to change direction for John Hopewadi. Good clash in the centres today. Nigel Vagano and Kevin Iro against Hopewadi and Terry Hill. Kallela, another who recently re-signed, I think, with the Manly club. Lyons, down to the last again, beautifully picked up by Field. Looking wide for Duncan, and Stellati under pressure and tackled. And pushed out of the way before the ball had come down cleanly. I think the penalty against Terry Hill.
Yeah, just infringing on the player before the ball's in his hands and, you know, giving Stellati no chance, no freedom to get that ball.
Wonderful run of early play in the opening 5 minutes for Manly. Territory, some penalties. Well, no, they want to put some points on the end of all this pressure. They had those just 2-1. But all the play has been down near the Auckland 30 or 20. Brady Malem. Crowd starting to ride the referee for some consistency in that play the ball area. Warriors just edging back out towards the 50. Logan Swan. Better set of 6 coming up for the Warriors. Kearney had support on the outside. Stacey Jones. So much better to give him a chance to get in behind the line. A couple of runners inside or out. Namu, here's a good kick. Phillips has to hurry like Ridge. If it had just been a little bit lighter, not so deep, Namu and the Warriors would have won the race to that.
Yeah, great vision here, taking on the blind side. Namu, great little chip kick through. Phillips coming across to cover, does superbly well. Good save by Manly.
Hopewadi on a bust. And Reg did well to race up to shut him down. Lyons looking for Menzies as usual. Back for Lyons. Clever play, keeping it alive. Gartner. Lyons is down in back play. He was finished off strongly after unloading the ball. Last tackle and a hiccup from Jeff Turvey. He was looking to rush and get it out to Craig Field on the short side. A fumble from Turvey.
You won't see that too often from Turvey. Just one of the simple basic errors.
Warriors just climbing back into some of their own after a bit of a shaky start, squaring up those handling errors. Kearney spreading it, looking nice and wide. Guttenbeil inside the tackle of Cliff Lyons, but plenty of support there from Menzies. Right on the Sea Eagle 40. Brady Malem. Support from Kearney. Good support too on the fringe. Likewise from Jones to continue it on. Namu looked. Stacey Jones involved once more. Staying wide to Logan Swan. He went inside for Guttenbeil and Lyons climbed nice and high. Crowd didn't like the tackle, but Blaine said it was okay. On the last for Ridge. Just to sit it up for Hoppy. Won't have time there to climb. And it will come back with Torrens. But starting to string together some nice play.
Yeah, some nice play, but, you know, going back on the last kick option for Ridge, everyone was a bit shallow, and in fact they were in front of him, and really the kick, you know, the chasers weren't able to get through and put the pressure on that they wanted to. But nevertheless, good opportunity there from Auckland and camping inside the Manly 20 for, you know, a good set of 6.
Totally noticeable for as far as Auckland are concerned. Plenty of support for the forwards taking the ball up.
Yeah, well, the forwards again, it's a real positive start from the Auckland boys. They're, you know, giving it to Manly and their defence and moving up off the line. And there's a lot of support. I'm very impressed with the crowd that have turned out. I suppose Manly are a big draw card, but there's a fair crowd here and they're all pretty positive. It's a great start.
Down for Hoppy. Had a tough last couple of months. with injury. He will need some match play, some form as well to bring his confidence back up for the Test series. Stellati. Number of opportunities he's had in the last 8 to 10 rounds, and he's played pretty well. Ridge, that first receiver with Brady Malin there to support. Going up in twos, the Warriors. A lot of matches recently. They've tended to go one out. Kearney looked inside. Now he finds Namu. Good short ball up for Jerry Siu. Long advantage played from McLean before he pinches Manley for a penalty. Tooby will come up and ask the question. They're all offside. He could have pinched anybody. He obviously called for them to stay out of the play.
Well, he did. He spotted them. They just moved up before the ball had been played. A good opportunity here for the Warriors now.
Setting it up. Down towards the 30. And right from the restart, Kevin Iro inside field, but taken nicely by Nick Kosef. Namu. Jerry Siu, who has been strong from the start. Jones folding back the other side and jinking around, but cannot get away from Tuvey. Now he does, frees himself up, and Logan Swan coughs it up. Always a problem against the good side if you can't complete your sets of 6. Off the boil. Manly have scored 86 tries this season to Auckland 69. The Warriors have conceded 83. Manly have allowed in 79. So I think the suggestion's certainly there that this game really should open up today.
Yeah, and those little blokes like Field and Tuvey, they'll be dangerous. Hopewadi, you know, if the Warriors can sort of rattle him and perhaps cause him to make a few errors, that might be a string in their bow. But also, you'd want the Warriors, some of these players, to look at lines on attack and try to pinpoint him and run at him. But if the likes of Kearney and Guttenville can get their arms free around lines and give the ball to Iro, then perhaps they might be able to come away with some tries.
Kosef all wrapped up smartly by Nigel Vaganar. Kalala down the short side, doesn't get away, and makes another tackle. Seager's looking for quick play of the balls. Field, Lyons kicking. Big head start here for Duncan, and again Ridge motors back to just in front of his own posts. Lyons on the chase and tries to settle some accounts for the former teammate. Hoppy took a heavy shot from Terry Hill, bounced out of that one. Stellati ducking as the wingers get together to improve things to the 30. Logan Swan straight at Jeff Tuvey. Trying to push it out to a good field position to look for Namu or Ridge with the kick. Not much in the time in own half stat at the moment as they get a terrific kick in. Phillips went very close to that sideline. Real close to the chalk. Torrance. Now Field. Back on the inside for Gardner. Certainly more comfortable in the back row. Daniel Gardner up front today. Tuvey with a nice dash. Kosef. Hopewadi. Spinning out of 2. Make that 3. Make that 4. Make that 5. How about half dozen? They finally nail him. Has something to say at the end of it. After all the good work, plenty of bad. Brilliant run, spoiled.
Yeah, well, this is the type of run Hopewadi can do. He's so big and strong, the big Tongan fella. He just throws him, bust, get out of my way, get out of my way, I'll step through you. But he undoes it all. He gets up and he's just got to have a bit to say, a bit of a shove in the face.
Not a lot to it really in the end, but McLean just saying get up and play it clean. You had the advantage, now you've lost it. Pays a big price, John Hopewadi, for that. I said 5, well there's 6 tackles messed all up so far by the Warriors.
All on one play.
Kosef Ball and all tackle on Guttenbeil. Stacey Jones looks for Nigel Vagana and stepped inside, couldn't keep his balance. He was just tripped up. Good ball movement from both sides. Reg for Kevin Ira, the big man going infield, looking to get away from the defence, but they have him in numbers. Floated out for Jones to half volley and to put in behind the line, couldn't find a way through. Manly cleverly just turned their backs to stop his passage. Pacey game. And another penalty at the end of it in that play the ball area. So we're going to have a fast one if he maintains consistency in that play the ball.
Yeah, well, this is just silly stuff. It, you know, the arm wrestle carries on, and this just, it releases all the pressure that you're trying to put on the side by just giving them easy yards, allowing them to kick the ball 30 yards up the sideline.
Big ask early with no Quinton Tongia and Joe Vagana, but plenty of effort, Toddy, from the likes of Jerry Siu and Brady Malin.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Siu's defence too. He gets in there and he really belts guys, you know. They know they've been tackled, so he's showing a lot of enthusiasm. But there's still one guy out there from Manly I think is going to come into his own, and that's Cliffy Lyons. He seems to have so much time, you know, they've got to rush up and try and put him on the deck, because when he's got time on his hands, that's when he's most dangerous.
Mentioned about the duel in the centres. Hopewadi showed his strength, so did Terry Hill. Penalties are all square. Craig Field bobbing around, just looking for a chance to get away. Now it's with Lyons and Menzies, used as a decoy on the outside to bring it back now for Phillips. Warriors maintain their line. Kevin Iro just slowing down the play the ball a little. Tuvey forced to go down the short side. It'll be a good play if it stays in touch. Stilati will be forced now to put it dead. 6 more tackles coming up. Smart tactics from Tuvey.
Tuvey just jumping out of dummy half. The marker, it split too early, allowed Tuvey easy yards, and the kick, Stilati, who judges that really well and then forces it back, and they'll have to drop kick this ball back out. But looking at Manly, I'd have to agree with Toddy. On a couple of occasions, Lyons just kicked the ball through. He's just been happy to turn this territory advantage on their side, but look for him to start throwing a few of these passes back inside.
It was a similar start for both sides, winning only around about 3 of their first 10 games this season, but Manly have lost only 2 of their last 10, the Warriors 6, and that's where the season of 98 comes down to. And the 2-point spread so far in this one for Manly. Cliffy Lyons. Magician just drags it back in time. Kosef. Straight ahead. Tuvey in that dominant dummy half roll, where he plays from the test matches mainly for Australia. Great defence on Hopewadi, but he still manages to stand his ground. Ridge has to come in to make it 3-on-1. Just 5 metres away, still looking for the first try of this one. Lyons. Now it opens up, and it'll be a free passage after all of the early good work. He's going to check to see whether ball was grounded short. Adam Peters has grabbed it. Interesting call from McBlain on this, but it really did open up.
Yeah, looking at Peters, big hole there, and just watching him as he goes down, and he's short of the chalk as he lost control.
Well, it looks as if it might be short. Amazing. This is a pretty fair call from the referee. This will tell us more. I think he's short. No try. I think Manly have come up empty. They're going to be surprised here. You've got to hand it to McBlain. Right in position and a big call.
Well, that's a huge call and absolutely crucial for the Warriors. And Cliffy Lyons, what a magic ball, but just coming up short on the line. Unbelievable.
Stay in, stay in.
What a let-off. Jones chased by Tuvey. Tuvey was in a mix-up in that play of the ball area, and Harrow trying to get up cleanly. Malin. Warriors bringing it back strongly. Jones back on the inside for Guttenbeil. They've done well to claw their way back towards the 50. Reg with plenty of time to pick his mark. Drills this one nice and low. Hits the deck trying to get it away from Phillips. And a good chase. Great field. Awkward ball. Manly push back towards their own 20 after thinking they'd come up with a try. Ball comes free. Gardner, quick spread. And Torrance.
Hands off, easy.
Taken. 6 more tackles coming up. Just another look at that angle as he rolled on the ball and finished up short. Terrific call.
Oh, and
Peters. Running from dummy half is going to set it up nicely for Manly. Back to come. Kearney really did make a meal of that one.
Firstly, I've warned you on the run. Warning you again. But no, don't walk away. I haven't finished yet. I want to talk to you about the high tackle.
Just really had every opportunity to roll off him. Can't complain or argue about this one.
Well, you know, I don't know. You know, a couple of rucks back, we saw Jeff Turvey in the way of Kevin Iro at the ball. And, you know, I guess if he's going to keep these players clean, he's got to have a look at both ways.
Believing in the tries, it's just near the 30, and it was right down the barrel for Manly, but they say no to the 2. Had a smell of busting them open. Now they really do want to grab the extra 4 or 6. Gardner without it. Not so Colella. Again, it's inside Auckland's 20. Kosef. Right near the post. Field. Went short side. They stay on a big open with Cliffy Lyons. Menzies. It's that combination again. Brilliantly worked. Menzies, how many tries has he scored at the end of Cliffy Lyons?
Well, that's incredible work from the set piece, from the tap penalty. Lyons, just a magician. He's just decoy runners everywhere. Great ball for Menzies.
Yes, and it all comes down to the decoy runners. Just have a look at them as they go across. There's 1, there's 2, and that gives Cliffy so much time to pick his player that's coming through. Of course, it had to be Menzies, who's just a try-scoring machine, just runs off him beautifully, but the decoy runners for Manly made that try.
Probably brings up a pretty fair argument. Steve Menzies, 90 tries for the Sea Eagles, and the 4th highest try scorer in the competition. Outstanding, they say, in the last couple of months, 17 tries. But it does probably raise the question of sliding defences or those that just move up sharply from the outside in. If that had been the case then, with Namu on the outside backs, Menzies would have had nowhere to go.
Well, you've got a question now with the Warriors too. And on attack, they seem only willing to stay inside the 10 metres from each sideline.
Sliding defence inside your own 10 often, I believe, gets you into trouble. Phillips will drag this one. But now they get to try Manly and get it out to 6-0. Both these sides now. Touch judges call back to McLean will send them all the way back to the 50. This hurts. Manly coming back immediately down deep on Auckland territory now. Clever play by Daniel Gardner. Put a foot out over the dead in goal. So they will go back on attack at the other end immediately.
Well, that is clever play. Unbelievable by the Warriors, though. And again, just putting themselves under enormous pressure here. And perhaps another set penalty, set piece from Manly as they work this one out.
Gardner, the man who had the thinking cap on. Now they allow Titi out there. 14 minutes in possession, Manly. They'll probably be thinking they should have a little bit more on the scoreboard. Hapawadi from nice and deep. Sidaris strongly over the advantage line. Flick back for Tuvey. He will deliver it back for Field. He looked out to Menzies, ducked weave, skipped through, under the posts. Celebrations all round for the Sea Eagles. Put it down to the mistake from the restart. You just can't give them a chance immediately like that.
Well, no, and Hopewadi's strength, Tadaris, he just runs straight, can stand, offload, and these players just keep the ball alive. The Warriors flat on their feet, everyone just comes up slowly and starts arm grabbing, and, you know, under the post, unbelievable.
Yeah, she hit the nail on the head there. One thing Manly are doing is they're keeping the ball alive, so the tackles aren't being effective from the Warriors, and when you can keep the ball alive, anything can happen. And this little guy here, well, just a little magician near the line. Very hard to tackle those little halfbacks. I used to hate it. They used to duck and weave, and very, very tough to get hold of. When you do, you try and give them one, but it's very, very hard to get hold of them. Look at the way he ducks under 3 and 4. There he goes. Goes over for a great try for Manly.
Right in front for Phillips. All of a sudden, strong scoreboard for the Sea Eagles against the Warriors at Ericsson, 12-0.
Warriors by 12 points.
You know, you talked earlier about the sliding defence, and that's okay, but the guys around the middle, they've really got to come up and start talking, and if the ball does get outside them, they've got to shuffle out and push across as well.
Gardner.
One hit the ball. Two, let go, get out.
Just getting away from their own danger zone, Manly. Full of running in this game. Playing with lots of confidence. Duncan hurdles one to try to take it out towards Auckland territory. Gartner. Plenty of work from him in this first 40. Come up with 3 clean line breaks. Kosef. Kick on heavily. Coming down this short side. One more tackle only for Manly. Field. And Lyons. Lyons again was looking for a runner, delayed the pass so long. Hopewadi pulled down out of the play. Hoppy has it. And just a brief let-off at the moment for Auckland. They're going to spread immediately. Jones. Just kept their eyes on him. He was looking for the option of Kevin Iro. Frank Watney, who gets a start in the top grade for the Warriors.
Yeah, Frank's been knocking on the door at, around at the development level for a while now. Good to see him out there.
Nigel Baynard trying to get to the outside of Hopewadi. Hoppy had gone back inside. Namu, long ball across for Jones. Awkward, but set up well for him. Ridge into the line. And looking for support. Thrown to ground, bounces back up into the action, and Terry Hill finishes him off. Now, they're looking for the same consistency. They're going to get it. Becoming a bit of a difficult one for Paul McBlain in this play the ball area.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want it to get a bit scrappy. But just watching the Warriors, Toddy, they seem to slow things down. You know, you'd expect them to take the quick tap or maybe speed things up. How's the talk down there on the sideline, mate?
Yeah, there's not too much talk. There's a couple of players. Stephen Kearney always seems to be talking. Even Stacey's had a little bit to say, but you're dead right.
Brady Malin back out there as they go inside the 10, looking for the reply to climb back into this one. Siu run around with Zane Clark and Jones. Somebody's got to straighten, somebody's got to take off and hit the line. Plenty of catching and passing. Spreading immediately back to the other sideline. Trying to find some numbers! Logan Swan, great tackle, Phillips. Lauatiti, young man who has impressed plenty. He unloads for Ridge to float it out for Jerry Sear. Sear, straighten, fights with them, climbs, pushes it back for Brady Malin, now for Logan Swan. Namu back on the inside. He was thinking about Stacey Jones. Outstanding Manly defence so far. Ridge, short side. Kevin Iro, just to the in goal for Hoppy. It'll go back to the 20. Well covered up by Torrens. And as much as Auckland's threw into it, Manly coming up with the goods.
Great attack and even greater defence. Torrance doing great work to get back there and shadow that ball. But Phillips coming up with a superb tackle that kept the Warriors out from scoring a try.
Is 3-1-9-8.
Really picked up the pace, Auckland, on that set of 6.
Please go down to the players' tunnel at half-time.
Metres being gained in a big fashion by the Sea Eagles. Kallela spins out of one, pushes it back for Sidaris to pick up the dregs. And on the inside, the danger man, Menzies. Terry Hill, taken by Logan Swan and Stellati. Kosef, Field, and Lyons controlling the game nicely. Hofawadi continuing to bust tackles. Lyons just holding that ball out in front, slowing down the defensive line. He makes the line stop absolutely still. Kosef, another change. Last tackle. Field, sitting it up. Namu quickly getting it away to Jones, who did well to get back there to support him under pressure. Likewise from Hoppy, so good reply from in there in goal area. Hoppy fighting with him to the 20.
Yeah, good work. In a field, maybe they had 4 on 3. I know he put up the kick was reasonably good, but perhaps they could have gone through the hands and maybe backed themselves on that opportunity.
Lauatiti fighting for every inch. Getting the crowd on their feet here. Starting to lift behind this Auckland side. Logan Swan confidently just holding it in one hand, then loses it, but it went back for Stellati to continue on. Stellati now looking for the quick play, the ball to open up to a back line of Jones. Kearney missed out. Namu with it. Nigel Vagana with numbers. Hoppy on the outside. Phillips won't save this one. Brilliant. No, he's lost it. I don't believe it after all of this. It looks as though he's bounced it. I think he tried to continue on too far, and I think the referee believes he's lost it. They did it so sweetly. It was outstanding out wide to put their men with an opportunity. Now, he's lost it.
This is incredible football, end-to-end stuff. He goes round and he loses it. Unbelievable stuff.
Big pay on experience at one end with a big call from McLean against Manly, and again he's spot on. And Nigel Vagana did it all so brilliantly, but just got a little bit greedy in the end goal.
Yeah, well, they've done everything right except put the ball down. On Manly's occasion on the first disallowed try, I guess maybe the touching might have helped him out, but McLean's been absolutely fantastic. And to read that one, well, that's incredible.
Broken a few hearts here at Ericsson, Toddy. I'll come back to Brent Todd shortly.
Sorry, mate, I was in shock.
Well, it's a great opportunity to climb back into the game, and they are absolutely desperate for points, Toddy, inside the last 10.
Well, it's the most important time, isn't it? The first, or the 10 minutes going into half-time. The Warriors cannot afford to let Manly going in, but gee, I just can't believe that we just bombed that try. What happened to the professional stuff of just going down and forcing that ball on the line? I mean, gee, it's so disappointing because that would put the Warriors straight back in the game.
Mistake from Manly. Probably makes you think about a learning experience for Nigel Vagana as well. It's not as if you have to improve things because you lack a real good goalkeeper.
Well, that's just what I was going to say. You know, you'd wonder why he was trying to improve it for Reggie. He'd probably slot him over from the sideline anyway. But, yeah, a real lesson, and he probably won't be doing that for another 4 or 5 years.
Terrific talent. Great future in the game. 10 missed tackles against the Warriors. That has been costly. But they've showed some good form in this game. Long ball, that pass back to Logan Swan. Brilliant hands, this one from Joe Nullivan, who's out there in 14 as the Warriors still believe they can grab another one. Stacey Jones and Phillips with another one. Twice he's been called on at the last line. Ali Lauatini, the big man will grab it. They only had to wait a few more minutes Terrific effort from the Warriors to dig deeper. For a moment, I've got to admit that I thought McLean was going to check the bounce of the ball here again.
Yeah, you know, great effort. He's a truck and trailer, this boy, and he just gets out. Great power. Watching Reggie, though, sets it up, turns it inside. Stacey Jones, great strength to stay on his feet. Almost pops another ball, but gets up quick and plays the ball. There's Manly players with their back turned. Lautiti goes in. Great opportunity.
Yes, Matthew Ridge is having an absolute blinder out there today. He's been involved in everything, and this all come from quick play the balls. Manly didn't have time to set their defence. Quick play the balls, and they were straight over. Great stuff from the Warriors. 4
tries this season. Young man who, when he eventually stops growing, is going to be really big.
When he stops growing. If he stops growing.
Think about the size of Joe Vaganar, and then you think about young Ali Lauatiti. No worries for Ridge alongside the post. The Warriors in a terrific first 40 here. Back in a big way now at 12-6 Manly.
Well, it's a case of the players really playing for their coaches, and you know, which of the players want to do it tough, and while their coaches are doing it tough, which of the teams want to do it best for their coach.
Today in an important one. Brady Malem. Good game opening up here at Ericsson. Well taken by Frank Watney. Jones. The try scorer, Ali Lauatiti. Bridge. Bit of a spread, chance with numbers for the Warriors, just couldn't get it out, maybe still half a chance. Namu knows it's on. Namu with a dummy, just can't get away. Looking for the quick play, the ball dragged back down. He asked the question. Last tackle, Jones. Ridge will think about the kick wide to a corner pocket area. Phillips' positioning has been excellent. Plenty of chasing, and they grab them inside the 20. Last 5 minutes of this one. So often, a side like Manly dangerous in this area.
Yeah, well, they have both sides matching it with each other on attack, showing that they're really going to get this ball away and spread it under all situations. And I guess both coaches, what they'd be concerned about is their defence. They want this, you know, no soft gaps up the middle. And the one who's really been strong out of both sides has been Phillips at the back for Manly. Been absolutely outstanding.
Kalala. Taken by Kevin Iro. Last tackle. Field thought about the kick. Lions wanted a chance his arm. Now he has to think quickly. Well taken by Torrance. He puts up a big bomb for Ridge. Has to hurry back to his in goal. Awkward ball. Now Ridge to bring it back just 5 metres away. Plenty of work still to be done now by Hoffy.
That's a fantastic chase, kick and chase from Torrance. He's done it all, and he's got up and put pressure on Ridge.
Requiring their best set of 6 just to get away from this danger area, to set up for a kick, not to give Manly a chance late in this first 40. Brady Malem, straight up the middle. McLean screaming at Manly to get back. Kearney. Kearney with a bust. Kearney, here's numbers. None of out of Jones. Phillips nearly read it right. Nigel Vaganar might come back yet. What a ball! Unbelievable! Oh no, tragic. I tell you what, they've lost another one, but on the end of that, you nearly had one of the tries of the year. What a pass from Nigel Vaganar, hit the deck.
Oh, this is unreal. You wouldn't see this. Geez, how many games of football you're watching, you see the tries like this, dead set sitters, and the ball's been knocked out or lost, and watching Stacey go down. That's a fantastic effort by Hill to get back there and keep chasing and put the pressure on.
Well, it's just the thought again of players being aware. I mean, Terry Hill was coming, and Stacey Jones, when he actually was in the tackle, was closer to the dead-end goal. As soon as he went across the line, he only had to hit the deck.
That's right. He had to keep his body position low. Just outstanding ball control, though, to get the ball to him, backing up. And this ball here, absolutely fantastic off the deck. And then he should have just gone down low, body position low. Well, change to Jeff Wilson, George Gregan.
Well, Toddy, you talked about in shock before. What about this time?
I'll tell you, there's 2 tries have been blown, but really, Terry Hill, fantastic defence there. You saw his arm come up, and that was just a great effort. And as you said, Graham, though, Stacey was closer to the end goal area than the try line. He should have just slid over, but Terry Hill, great stuff.
Warning here from McLean, the tackle from Brady Mullen. Didn't look to be much in it at all. But they will have a chance with some time down the other end before half-time. Quite an outstanding game of football on our hands.
Well, it is. It's been absolutely outstanding on attack, and you know, I feel the crowd's livened up to it a bit, and you know, the Warriors will have to be at the very best defensively to make sure that Manly don't go in and score with only 2 minutes clicking down on the clock.
I'll keep my eye on that. 25 out. Kozev for Terry Hill. Bouncing into the 20. 3 tries have been missed in this game. Phillips, good quick early kick, outstanding. He saved the scene at the other end a couple of times, and now he's laid it on for Albert Torrens. Tremendous kick. Just a final check whether he was onside.
Well, this is absolutely devastating for the Warriors, and just Cliff Lyons, majestic pass, just watching his, he's onside. Great little kick through. The Warriors just watching that unfold, and that's a good try by Manly.
Yeah, once again, Cliffy Lyons, though, you see how he held the defence up. They all stood there and gave them all room to move, to put that kick in. Nobody knew it was happening, and that was a fantastic try, and I think a well-needed one from Manly. At least they can score them.
Unbelievable. Could have had one of the great tries of the year at the other end, and now all of a sudden, passage of just 6 tackles later, you go down the other end. And how cruel is this for the Warriors, but so brilliantly worked.
Yeah, and that's a sign of a really great team, the ones that who can, you know, when you've camped in the opposition's territory and you can come away with a 6-pointer and, you know, a 4-pointer, this is great stuff.
Plenty of quality, plenty of high-class stuff here at Ericsson. Phillips laid it on, as well as saving a couple in this first 40 minutes at the other end. Now from right out on the chalk to give them plenty of breathing space in the game that they must win. Needs it to come round. It won't. Doesn't quite strike that at all. Didn't hit it well. 16-6.
Ladies and gentlemen, at halftime, we'll be making the draw.
Well, and truly inside the last 60 seconds, the Warriors left to think about what may have been. Losing the ball over the line twice. Manly just coming up short of the line once. And now, a short restart. They look for the ball. Manly come up with it, or do they? They lose it. Menzies, maybe in this first 40 there's something special left still. Namu, back for Kearney. Takes on Turvey. Loses out just near the 40, and Turvey gets in there and puts a shot in on Kearney. Namu to bomb away midfield. Last seconds. Phillips at the back. Great take. Terrific game here at Ericsson. And what a game it's set up at the start. The Sea Eagles knowing they have to win to climb into the top 10. Outstanding first 40. Plenty more still to come at 16-6. 10-point gap in this one. But it is Auckland who are still thinking about 2 missed chances in that first 40. McLean gets us underway. Turvey with a touch. 16-6 Manly. Gutman. Certainly got the best of the first 10 of this game. And they'll be looking to repeat the dose in the second 40. Kosef. And he mailed from down the tunnel, Toddy.
Well, Bobby Fulton was reasonably happy He told his players that they're lucky to not be behind with those 2 tries that were lost, but he also wants the Manly side just to play the balls down and play them at their own level. Frank Endicott just reminded the guys that this is their last game of the season, to give everything for this last 40, and he also wants a better kick and chase, and also to slow the Manly players down. And also with Cliffy Lyons, he wants he's nominated one player to get up and put him on the deck. He's just too dangerous.
Away from the 20. Guttenbeil. Kearney. On the last. Still just near the 40 as Namu tries to get it down inside the Manly 20, but sends it straight to Luke Phillips. Problem they had last week against Brisbane. Kicking game that didn't work for them. And now, on reply, Phillips to the outside of a line that didn't stay straight.
Oh, that's just unbelievable. He's just got outside Logan Swan, and actually he still had a 2-man overlap and kind of ran away from them. But again, Manly just getting straight back on to business and looking good at the start of the second half. Very important, though, that for the Warriors' sake, that they're the first ones to score. Can't let this game slip away from them.
Joseph. Gutman. Midfield for the Sea Eagles and Sidaris. Back for Tuvi. Tuvi allowed to travel for some distance before he brings Hopewadi in. And Hopewadi still proving a handful. Inside the 20, couple of tackles remaining. Lyons switching for Kosef, likewise for Phillips. Support from Sidaris. Menzies just needed to shift one more pass and they had the overlap. Kosef last for Field, just to kick back across for Phillips. Kept his cool. Nigel Vagano read it well.
It's a good set of 6 there from the Manly side. Oh, geez.
Well, there's a little knock on, and the door is certainly open in a big fashion now for Manly.
Well, I'm not too sure if he fumbled that ball. It certainly travelled forward. He's juggled it forward, but has it hit the deck? Well,
I think he did.
Only wishful thinking, eh?
Got some problems with the mic down to the referee, but touch judge in with the call. And he will call over Nigel Vagana. Somebody works on the mic at the back. Some might suggest he should just put a hand up there. So Nigel Vagana with a bit of a chat as Paul McLean goes into the pits for a complete overhaul. Scrum just 10 metres out, and Manly absolutely stack a short side, but Field will travel some 20-30 metres across to pick up Terry Hill. Ducking under the high tackle from Jerry Siu. Without doubt, the most important set of 6 in the game. Tuvi back on the inside. Kalala right in front of the posts. Field for Lyons. Gartner on the inside. Lyons shuffles across to the open. Sets it up for Field. Now for Kosef on a run around. And looking on the inside, ball's gone forward, so a let off for the Warriors. So the mistake doesn't count or add up to anything.
No, but in saying that, we'll just see the ball go forward. But Manly, they've been real impressive. You know, these teams, they train all year and they put on all these set pieces at training. And what's been impressive about Manly is they've come out here this afternoon and they've put on a whole heap of plays that are trying to confuse this Warriors defence, and it's come off for them. And I think they've just got to persevere.
Handling mistakes are all square. Kevin Iro was trying to get to the outside. Hoppy was clear. And a little bit of a overlap, just a hint of one. Siu. Fighting with him to get to his feet. Kearney busting the tackle, but it put him off balance. Long ball out for Stacey Jones. And Guttenbeil Ridge had gone inside, still over the top for Stacey Jones. Looking for the return ball, won't be able to get it. Right on the 50. Last tackle. And Ridge to kick from dummy half. Not a good deep kick. And it gives a bit of room for the danger man, Hopewadi. Logan Swan stays with him, wraps him up, and he'll be called to play. Phillips back for Hopewadi for another shot out. This time they put him down heavily. Ridge very flat in the line, not back at fullback for the moment. And they might think about a deep kick on an early tackle. Menzies to the outside. Now Ridge will have to hurry because he was in the line. Line ball, that pass out, and Hill's got it. McBlain seemed to have a good long look at the pass out to Hill, but Manly on the break. And just to the outside of the man. With great finish once again.
Well, Menzies just absolutely incredible. Just gassed it on between Guttenbill and Iro, and he runs the ball, and he turns back and he finds a support play, and we'll have to just check on that pass.
Yes, it might be just a little touch forward, but still, they're working the blind side really well, Manly. They're just catching the defence out here. Look at that step from Menzies. Gee, he's a class player, and then he just turns it on, gets to the outside of Kevi Iro. Well, you can't see it from there, but Tezza was backing up, and he goes over for a nice try.
Been a wonderful clash out in the centres, and you may as well throw Menzies into this duel now because he did stand up Kevin Iro beautifully. And Hill really had to motor to get there. McBlain was in perfect position to adjudge that. And Stacey Jones couldn't match it. 6 tries this season for Terry Hill. One of the highlights of this game, the clash out there. He and Hopewadi in fine touch. 248 career points for Phillips and 50% today. Last couple of kicks, he has not struck the ball well.
Well, I'd back Toddy to get him close to the post.
Looking for a real confidence booster. This one coming around nicely for him, won't come around enough though. Manly doing it with the tries to give themselves all that comfort on the board at 26. Early days still in this second 40. But even in saying that, the Warriors know they need something to climb back in a hurry.
Well, they do. They've still got a bit of crispness, still got a bit of speed in the Warriors' legs, but, you know, really it's this Manly attack. They're putting on these set pieces, turning the ball back inside and just breaking through a few tackles and doing things at pace, and, you know, they very well could go on with it. And I know there's plenty of time left on the clock, but as it does, Manly just looking more and more dangerous.
Sidaris standing easily to unload for Tuvi, for Field, now for Phillips. Sliding defence again, allowing him plenty of room. He tried to force him to make his play. A dozen missed tackles against the Warriors. Griffey Lyons, great, absolutely brilliant. The ball up for Menzies. Kalala, Warriors just on their heels, knocking off in the play of the ball, dropping off a few tackles. Ridge forced back to his own in goal. Ball needs to sit up for Manly. Here's a chance. Field. Ridge does well. And away from Lyons to take it back near the 10. Penalty for not allowing him to be clear to play the ball.
Yeah, Ridge, he does well. He just gets that ball, beats the first chaser, gets outside Clippy Lyons, and he's really just trying to look to get up on his feet. Clippy Lyons, the tackle's been made, and Jim Sidaris just comes on, holds him down. He's had a good game though, Sidaris. He's been really well, and it's great how Manly have been effective in using Tuvi at half and using Sidaris as another front row, second row forward.
Just the penalties to the visitors. Siu. Lot to like about his performance, and Lauatiti from the first 40. Kearney. Should have had 2 more tries already, Auckland. Scoreline really is not a fair one to the Warriors, but mistakes like this is going to allow Manly more opportunities to skate away.
Yeah, just this is real silly play, and just puts them more and more under this pressure we're talking about. Starting the possession starting to weigh in Manly's favour very heavily, And again, a great opportunity. We've seen them stack this blindside on their scrums, and again, could come up with a set play here.
Just can't afford a stat like that against a side like Manly. Field. Terry Hill. More possession. Gartner. And Brady Malin, I think, is already on report once for a tackle that we called in the first 40 that didn't look to have much in it at all. And another warning. I'm not sure that he's going to... Well, there doesn't look to be a lot in there.
Well, you know, sometimes he's just trying to climb up and it bounces. He's gone for the ball and his arm, the momentum has forced his arm up. I don't think he struck the head intentionally at all.
Well, that did get up around the head area, but that one certainly looked worse than the first one, yet the first one is on report, so yeah. You work it out.
Oh, well, that's right. The first one won't get a mention, but yeah, the Warriors doing it tough at the moment, just giving away turnovers and, again, penalties just to relieve any pressure they were applying.
2 from 5. Nothing wrong with Phillips' play in the open. And he's going to be astray again. So the try still. The big difference for the Sea Eagles at 26. Manly certainly enjoying so much possession from the restart since half-time. Gutton, taken by Guttenbeil. Powerful defence. Right on the 50. Kallela nearly overran that one from Sidaris. But just the control of the game, Toddy, if anything, seems to be working against the Warriors, just tiring them out.
Well, they haven't been able to complete their sets of 6, you know, and when you get soft penalties like that, it just goes against you. I mean, you've got to feel sorry for the Warriors. There was nothing in that. I mean, it's just becoming too soft. You know, the referee's got to wake up themselves a little bit. So when you're on your back foot all the time, it is quite hard, and it takes a lot of energy out of you.
Field for Lions. Menzies. Back inside for Phillips. Last tackle, Lions. And Field. Malaval got away from him. Still alive on this last tackle. Midfield bomb. Nobody needs to go at it. It falls back for Field. Quickly back. And now down towards the in goal for Ridge to pick up the challenge to climb back into the field of play. And the Warriors having to do it all from inside their own 10.
Oh, and everyone's just slow to get back there. You know, what we'll see is probably the wingers just ruck this ball out 2 or 3, but their energy's getting used in the wrong places, and the forwards just too slow to get back and turn this around.
Got to hand it to Manly, the way they've kept the ball on a string, and since half-time, it's almost as if the Warriors haven't had a chance whatsoever.
Well, they haven't done themselves any favours as well, but yes, this Manly side have been. They're starting to get ruthless, and their execution, their width and depth on attack's absolutely superb.
Kevin Iro did well to take the tackle of Terry Hill. The pass from Nunn, who just waited out to him, took its time getting there. And he was under some pressure. Jones with a kick down to Phillips, but straight to him and not deep enough. A number of times we spoke about the kicking game against the Broncos last weekend. Trying to keep Manly inside their own 40. They'll have a hell of a job in keeping them inside their own 50 in this set of 6. They fly in this time, the Warriors, right on the 50. Plenty of extra possession for the Sea Eagles. 8 minutes, and they have done plenty with it. Kosef. Support from Gartner. Last tackle. Back towards Field. Just in behind the line. Was it play that? Won't matter. Menzies will go under the pace. Again, the finish from Manly is quite outstanding. Broken play opportunity, and they just about say goodnight.
Well, again, just a kick and really nothing on. The players have sort of, it's hit his foot. It's bounced back in their arms, but it's like the big sea. It just opens up in parts, and there's a massive big hole. Too easy for Menzies.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball, really, and as you said, it didn't come for anything, but really, this Menzies is a fantastic player, a great player, really. When there's a try on, he's always sniffing around. He's obviously calling for it there. He sees there's something on. He's got plenty of pace, and he's a great finisher.
Great opportunist, and Brady Malem did play at that, so McBlain was not going to give them the extra set of 6, so they said, don't worry about it, we'll finish it here. 20 tries this season, another headed for a big end of year. Not a happy day for Phillips, but this one right in front. They drill it. So since half-time, it's been all Manly. 26-6.
For mine, I guess, you know, if you're watching Manly as they go about their business, Field, his kicks haven't been ideally where he's wanted them to be, but they've still come away with the goods, and, you know, that's a sign of the enthusiasm. Everyone's willing to back up something that happens.
Trying to work out, I know you're going to try something in a game to climb back into it, but the restart, you kick it to the man who's broken nearly every tackle he's run into today, Hopewadi, and all of a sudden at the start of the 6, instead of deep down the 20, you're defending inside your own territory.
Yeah, dead right, and you kick it to Hopewadi. He's strong enough. He's going to run it back on the first play. He almost made the halfway, so you know, just really trying something out of their box of tricks, the Warriors, but perhaps not the right thing.
Torrens for Kallela. It's almost like Manly have their name on this ball. 6 line breaks against the Sea Eagles to the 3 from the Warriors. And 2 of those should have been tries for Auckland, but it's been all Manly since half-time. In control for Field. Looking wide for Phillips to climb above Hoppy. He's going to get support. There was a fumble in Manly. Not so sure why he's going upstairs. But it looks as though a fumble from the Warriors might have copped up another one for Manly.
It's a great pinpoint kick. Hoppy's knocked it backwards. He's raked it and it's gone right back under his body, and it's a clean pick-up. Well, that's a fair try for Manly.
Hopewadi looks as if he's grounded it. So he had no problem with the grounding of the ball, and just as quickly, a couple of kicks at Manly have absolutely flown away.
Yeah, well, that kick, you know, that's the one, Craig Field, that's the one that's gone right to where he's judged it, and the Manly player's done really well there. They haven't interfered, and Hoppy, he's just come up and he's fumbled. Hopewadi goes over. Nice try.
Yes, it's great stuff, isn't it? Manly are really playing like a team that are moving on into the semis and going to be real contenders in this final series, and they're just playing with so much confidence, and everything seems to go your way. And when you're playing with this sort of confidence, balls like that just seem to pop up, and they're a great side. I think they're going to be real contenders.
Certainly have enjoyed a fair amount of luck today, but you make your own, and they came out flying early on, Manly. Could have been so much more, but the boot of Phillips hasn't been on. He looks as though he might have found a little bit of radar. Sneaks this one over the bar. Extra 2 for Manly. Terrific scoreline for them now at 32-6. Still 21 minutes remaining in this. Already you think about the first 40 and how well they played at times, Auckland, but Toddy, now all of a sudden they've got to think about the finish to the year on the right note of really digging deep and making sure this doesn't get away.
Well, I suppose another thing that man there will be thinking of, that none of his players do anything stupid in frustration and get suspended, because there is the test series coming up, and that's what all the Warriors players have got to look forward to now. So let's hope none of them get their marching orders.
Ali Lauatiti finally gets out there, but it has taken some 20 minutes to inject him into this second 40.
Well, you know, he started off, and when he was on, he was doing things great, and again, he showed some enthusiasm. He's come out, he's chased from marker really hard, and he's put pressure on Menzies to cough up the ball.
Had to make a lot of defence since half-time. They made a lot of mistakes, and Manly have just controlled it superbly. Namu bringing in Stilati. Needing to lay on points with a real rush. Nullavow for Namu and Jones, then Kearney. But you guessed it, they're not going to get the end of the 6.
Well, it's really important, Graham, here that the Warriors, this is their home ground, of course. I mean, that's stating the obvious, but it's a real important that they show character and don't get walked over. You don't get tramped over on your own territory, and the Manly have come over here and they're doing the business. The Warriors have still got some 20 minutes ticking down on the clock, and Frank has to really be enthusiastic with his bench, his comments, and these players have to go out there, and this is their last game on here for the season, and they really need to empty the tanks on this one and show their character.
Lauatiti showing some concern. The metres gained have really started to clock up for Manly. But again, it was a strong tackle from him. Gartner, so much work he's come up with today in the front line. Sure whether he fell awkwardly on that knee or what he was trying to grab at. Maybe it was his neck which copped a real pounding over the top as well. Field for Kosef. And out for Hancock out there in 17. Craig Field. Got some generals in and around the real sensitive area of that play the ball. Tuvey, Lyons, Field. They've all been outstanding today. Iro.
Yeah, and that's right, and I know that Toddy mentioned at half-time that the Warriors perhaps were going to send up some flyers on Lions, but of course you've got those players that you just mentioned, Graham, that are equally as dangerous.
Namu, Nullavow, Ridge in the line, outside for Logan Swan. Good quick play the ball. Ridge did well to control that. Jones, trying to pick up the pace, trying to put some more effort back into it. Namu. Looking for runners. He'll be finished off very strongly right on the Manly 40. Just about tells you the story of the second half. Somehow Ali Lauatiti could afford a smile at the end of that one.
Yeah, I mean, Jones very clever, but that one just getting right away from him, missing it completely. Perhaps Namu hasn't been there throughout this game really to give Jones the support he needs as a fly half, and the two of them really haven't complemented each other too well in this game.
Pretty good effort in the first 40, but we went into this one, Tony, talking about no Joe Vagano and no Quinton Pongia.
Yeah, that's right, and I think that's shown out there, and they just haven't got any muscle up front, and little guys like Stacey, they need halfbacks like Quinton Ponga. They need those guys to go forward, put in the big hits, and it just adds a bit of staunch to your forward pack. Although the young guys have been enthusiastic, you do miss a bit of experience up front.
Craig Field switching for Lions. And the Manly will have one more chance at this set of 6. Field. Question mark still on Hancock chasing that one, but Stellati will take it and send it back to the 20. And a quick restart for Hoppy. Hoppy! Kevin Iro, here's a chance. Now Hill's not happy with the end of this, suggesting that Kevin Iro wasn't collected as strongly as it looks. It was an arm that was just hung out, really.
Yeah, hard to see from that angle. We'll see a bit of this one. He's copped him, and, it's not like Kevin to really, Kevin, he doesn't go down and really fake him, and I'd say that would have to cop him on the melon if he's going to stay down on the ground and receive some treatment.
Well, McLean hasn't reacted strongly. There's nothing on report, Toddy.
Look, I've got to disagree with you there, Dwayne. All footballers, we all act if we think we're going to get a penalty or something out of it.
You should know too, mate.
We will go down and put on the greatest act you've ever seen.
hey, this isn't soccer, right?
Geez, you'll have to hand in that front row union card, Toddy.
Oh, if I was going to get a penalty, I'd do anything.
Namu chipping ahead. On the opening tackle out behind Hopewadi towards the sideline, leaves it alone. Now, Hoppy asked the question whether that was touched at the finish. Now, we've got a trainer on the field involved, and he's going to be spoken to. Now, out over the sideline, not touched. So a warning for the man in Manly they call the Sheriff.
He's on report. The Sheriff's on report.
Good on you, Sheriff.
Trainer also for Bobby Fulton when he was the Australian coach in the rep sides. So for just a fraction, there was 14 there playing. or maybe, with great respect to the trainer, 13 and a half.
13 and a half, eh? He'll take the 14.
Torrens will be wrapped up right on his own 20.
I think, Graham, if we go back to what Toddy was saying earlier on about the likes of Pongia being out, Vagana's not out there, and you know, it's those twin towers that offer this Warriors team that aura of sort of staunchness and toughness to go forward, and they have been missing that. And I know there's a couple of the young boys like Watney who's been out there and he's done a sterling effort, but perhaps there's a guy, Dave Solomona, who's been playing outstanding football in this Warriors Colts side, and you know, I would have liked to see him out there getting a shot.
Well, one thing it has done today, the loss of Big Joe and also Pongia, it's caused probably a lot of thought about the rotation of the bench and how you use it today, because you rely so heavily upon them for long periods. Stellani just with a slip. You'll be hurting Matthew Reid with a scoreline like this at the moment. 26 points behind against his old club Manly. Nigel Vangano did well to hang on to it. Hoppy got away from the tackle from Craig Field. Down to Luke Phillips. Stacey Jones still trying to open it up. Ali Lauatiti just ran straight through. Cliffy Lyons got him behind the line, and Tuvey had to rush over. Still fighting with them. And then Tuvey had to get support as well. Kearney. Inside was a question mark to Seal. Last tackle. Kevin Iro right near the line for Nigel Vangano to leave it behind, and another one. Does not see the end of 6.
Well, looking at the Warriors, Iro, everyone's just been too shallow. No one's punched that ball. They didn't really know what was going on, and he's run himself into trouble, Vagana, and they've coughed up the ball.
10 handling mistakes against the Warriors. One of those have led to Manly tries. Clever pass to put his man to the outside. There'll be a penalty for back play from the touch judge. Hancock was held out of it, and it might still not matter. This is outstanding again, Menzies. Got a hat-trick, remarkable. There was so much clever play in this, but you just watched Lyons. Just watch the weight of the pass to get the man to let him slide to the outside of his opponents. Had a great game.
Well, that's absolutely fantastic again. And still on his feet, able to beat these chasers, gets the ball away. Great vision here from Hancock. He comes back inside, finds a waiting Menzies. He just can't believe it. I'll take one in for my hat-trick. Oh, awesome, awesome Manly.
Yes, Menzies always backing up, but that man there is Cliffy Lyons. A beautiful pass to Terry Hill. They know each other's play so well. And Tezza there, you can see Hancock being pulled back. And it didn't matter in this instance because he positioned himself so well, and Menzies, well, he just backs up all day. He's had a fantastic game out there. Great stuff from Manly.
Still plenty to say in 1998. The Sea Eagles. Phillips will get another gift from right in front. Looking for the big end of season. The Warriors began to a disappointing year, but at the moment, burnt real bad at Ericsson Stadium as Phillips adds another 2. 38-6. Short restart, touched by the Warriors, and Manly will have a scrum feed. Trying something, trying to get it back. There is still 11 and a half minutes. Scrum will go right down on the 30. Talking earlier today about the last odds, Cliffy Lyons, last season at Manly. Mention in the Auckland media, extensive mention in the Auckland press today about Matthew Ridge returning to Manly. The career of Frank Endicott in the NRL. But this man has had the biggest say of all, Cliff Lyons. Scott Fulton. Taken just short of the 50. Daniel Gardner. Back for Kosef. And beautifully half-volleyed by Menzies. This time he will not get away from Kevin Iro. Lussick will just play it inside the Auckland 40, but on the last tackle for Craig Field. Under a bit of pressure. Bobs and weaves, gets a good kick in that's going to send Stellati back near his own line. Finished off just 10 metres away. The number of times that Manly have just so professionally pinned the Warriors 10 out from their own line at the end of every set of six.
Well, they have done. Their kicks have been, great with chases. They've been accurate and really forced them around. Of course, they know Ridge's play, and they've worked these kicks. They've found space, put them in the gaps all the time, and their defensive line's been absolutely great. It's only been on some few occasions that the Warriors have been able to come up with some clean line breaks.
Namu quickly spinning it out for Guttenbeil. And he just manages to keep it in play quite cleverly now for Kevin Iro. Numbers here for them to shift. Auckland, Siu quickly. Kearney went back inside when I think everybody wanted to stay out. Now it's the last tackle. Stacey Jones. Stacey Jones for Ridge. Taken on the last, not finished off. Play that now, but called to play it on a handover. So again, it's a set of six that they don't finish off the way they would have wished. Long, hard second 40 for them. And Ridge back on his feet finally.
Josh! Yes! One more run.
What do you think, Tony, of what may have been if they had have scored those two tries in the first 40?
Well, I think everything would have changed because they would have been on and up. You know, when you score a try, you get very enthusiastic and you carry on, and it lifts the whole side. So it's, and when you can see two tries, that it does disappoint you, and it's always hard to turn that around. So I'm sure it would have been a much different game if it had been much closer in that first half.
Great ball up from Hopewadi. He's had a day to remember as well out for Torrens. Manly not done with it in the scoring department yet. Plenty of time left in it for them. Field and a big back line. Huge for Menzies now to the outside of Iro. He's given him a nightmare in the second half. Still with Lyons. Now Field. Bit of a jink to put up a bomb, and again they go back out towards Hoppy's wing. And Hoppy misses this one for Torrens, and another one. No, they've got a penalty in there. Offside from the kick, said McBlain. Manly wanted to question the decision. This will give us a good idea from the Field kick. And I think quite correctly that he's grabbed one man in front of the kick. But Hoppy probably not getting the support that he should have and the cover.
No, he's not, and it's always very hard to take the kick when you're stationary and you've got players there. They're coming at you with a bit of momentum. They can generally get a bit more height up in the air, and on that occasion, really, he was just offside there.
Belated penalty as Kevin Iro got up saying something to the referee. If anything, I think about Ben Todd's point about not having Joe Vangano and Quinton Pongia, as well as they've played with the ball, Manly, they have out-muscled the Warriors as well in the second half.
Well, they have, and blokes like Colella and Jimmy Sedaris has been good up the middle, and Hopewadi's been strong, so they have muscled up right across the paddock.
Chance for Guttenbeil. Just couldn't get back to supports on the inside. Jones for Namu. Ridge. Just get that feeling when they go wide a number of times, the Warriors, they are a bit flat, not charging onto it. Namu for Stellati. Last tackle they're forced down to. They'll try some of their own for Hoppy decline. And Manly, everybody goes up with it. Kearney's got one. You can certainly argue a little bit of justice after the first 40. He's still going to check upstairs to see if there was any interference, but Kearney believes he's got to try.
Well, 50-50, the ball goes up. It's a good jump, and he's just looking if he's been infringed or any way or taken out. But no, everyone's onside, and just a clean miss.
Looks to be just lost cold by John Hopewadi, who has had an outstanding game. Terrific kick. And everybody rushed in there. Hopewadi climbed and just coughed it up pretty cold. Green lights for Kearney. Now Toddy looking to try and pick it up the pace and put some real respect back into the scoreboard.
Yes, unfortunately, I think it's going to be just a little bit too late with only 5 minutes to go, but at least they're not haven't given up. They're trying things, and the new guys are coming on and doing their best. And let's remember that they are up against a great side here. This Manly side are firing today.
38-12. Bob Fulton, another campaign ahead of him for a finals playoff in Sydney.
Yeah, I think the expression on Kearney's face as he's dotted that ball down just says it all. The mood in the Warriors side, very disappointed, but they've got to stick tight and you know, group themselves after this match and just sort of you know, pick themselves up and you know, there's always another season next year, and best of all, they've still got the Test series coming up against the Australians, and you know, I'm sure there'll be a lot of support behind them going into that series.
Namu, Kearney. Terrific gap in the time in possession, which Manly have enjoyed in the second 40. Fumble, and maybe the Sea Eagles will grab another one. Field. Now spreading nice and wide for Lions. And a rare mistake from someone with the class of Cliffy Lyons. Perfect delivery to the likes of Hopewadi and Menzies throughout this game, and on this occasion misses them both.
And he had a quick look over his shoulder there, Cliffy, too, and you know, he's been absolutely fantastic today. And this Manly side, yeah, they have been exquisite. They've put on all the players that they've trained for, as I've said before, and everyone's put their hand up, and you know, how far they go on, well, we'll have to see. But of course, yeah, very exciting battle for them against Illawarra next weekend.
Kevin Iro. He's had a tough day out. Big points decision. You would have to hand to Hopewadi and Terry Hill today against Nigel Vagana and Kevin Iro. Good learning experience for Nigel Vagana. Stellati.
Yeah, it might be a habit from playing that football up in the UK. You're just sort of dancing behind the try lines.
See you. Stacey Jones. Kearney from the deep. And a good ball up as well from Guttenbeil to have Kearney still alive up the middle, and touches it again. Towards the last 2.5 for Stacey Jones to find another one. Hancock just allowing it to go dead in goal. They will pick up an easy 20. Manly with a solid set of 6 and maybe a kick to finish up downtown. 38-12 in what has been a perfect second 40 for Manly. Everybody thought at so many stages this year this Manly side were gone. Great character to bounce back and win so many matches over the last couple of months. Yeah,
and you know, going into, if they clinch that 10th or 9th spot, well, it's still going to be very tough. It is a must-win situation for them, and you know, but they've got a lot of experience there. They've been there before, and certainly they're showing that they can fulfil that promise if they continue to play as they have done over the last few weeks.
Menzies, he's got 3. Still thinking about 4 as he climbs out of one tackle and straight into Ridge. Lions. Nothing on outside. How about inside? Finds plenty of room for Adam Peters. Craig Field. Nobody back deep. He saw that. Ball sits up and Stellati just manages to grab it. Plenty of thought behind the kick. Stacey Jones. Joe Nullival. Dying seconds of a game really that at half-time promised so much.
Yeah, the Warriors needed to be the first try scorers after the start of the second half, and they weren't, and really the game was lost there.
Stacey Jones puts the foot down. Where's the support? Inside is Nigel Bunganup. Turns to nothing. Tired bunch. They've been forced to make a lot of tackles in the second half, the Warriors.
Yeah, they're pretty much out on their feet, and of course, you know, when things are going well, the passes stick. And in the Warriors' case, of course, we've seen a couple of easy turnovers.
Last scrum of 1998 for the Warriors forward pack. They've packed all day long without Pongia and Joe Bunganup. Missed them badly in this one. That's all there is. Hopewadi finishes with it. Big game from him, but all the stars stood up for Manly today. The Warriors all of a sudden start thinking about 1999. Sea Eagles climb into the final series. Outstanding victory, 38-12.